Hello and welcome to What Are You Doing? This is our weekly episode where we not only tell you what we're doing in our shop, but what you guys are doing in the shop as well. And so I want to welcome all our Facebookers, YouTubers, and woodchopperoos. So let's get right into it. Starting off with Facebook, here's what some of you guys are doing. We've had some new folks join the page, and so I want to give a shout out to them. Dennis Scott, he posted a picture of an acorn birdhouse. Robert Bach, he made a marking knife, and he tried making one of these folding book stands, and he had a little trouble with it opening. It tends to break. And I wanted to mention this to a few other viewers out there. It's really important down in the corners of this hinge that you can actually, I like to poke a little hole through it with a knife and hold it up to the light to see if I have a hole. That will really help you when it comes time to open that. If you're not familiar with this, I'll put a link below to the video on how you make that. Also, we had Paul Byland. He made a walnut cup. Did that all on the lathe. Looked pretty nice. Kevin Zyrath, I hope I said your name right. He's making like this 10-foot long, it looks like a bookcase for a local business, which is cool. Anytime you get a customer, if you watched my last video, I think that's the best way to learn and advance your woodworking is get a customer. So good job to Kevin. I also want to give a special shout out to these people. They're regular people who always comment on the posts and what they're doing and what others are doing. They give a lot of encouragement. Kevin Delk, Jay Spencer, Heather Kwan, Rob Appleman, Tim Charles, and One Eye Woody. I love that name, One Eye Woody. So all of you, thanks a lot for your continuing comments and support to others, as well as what you guys have been working on. And for you YouTubers out there, here's some folks that were commenting. Stephen, I'm not sure how to say your last name, Stephen. It looks like Jimenez. Anyways, you're making, what is it? Jimenez. Stephen's making an epoxy river table. They're pretty popular right now. Hopefully you can send me some photos. I'd love to see what it looks like. Glenn Anderson, you were making some toys for a children's hospital down there in Texas. Wonderful thing to do. I enjoyed talking with Glenn. We got the Woodchuck Workshop. They're making a jewelry box. And Tony Lenge, I think that's how he said the name. Is that right, Dan? Lenge?
I think so, yeah.
Tony, you're working on a workbench, so that's great. Always, that's what this series is about, encouraging each other, supporting each other, making sure that we follow through with what we start, so we hold ourselves accountable. All right, so as I mentioned last week, we were going to support and throw some love out there for some of those viewers, and the first person that wrote into me last week was Andy Millacci. I hope I said your Millen. Hopefully I'm saying your name right, Andy. But Andy has a YouTube show that he calls the Hand Toolery, which I love that name. That cracks me up, Hand Toolery. Reminds me of what my grandma used to say. Chad, they're not going to put up with your tomfoolery. Oh, yes, they do. So anyway, on Andy's show, he likes to work with hand tools. He makes projects from start to finish with the hand tools. He shows techniques for using just hand tools, and he even does reviews on the different hand tools out there. He seems to primarily like shaker-style furniture, but I think he's doing a variety of other topics. He's got some workbench plans out there for sale, and his goal is to build every piece of furniture in his house, and that's something I'm trying to do myself, so Andy and I have that in common. So I'm going to put Andy's links below for his Facebook, his YouTube, his Instagram, and why don't we go over there, check out his videos, subscribe to it. He just passed 5,000 subscribers, so good job to you, Andy, and hopefully all of you will check it out. give him support, follow his show, and leave your comments for him like you do for us. And if you want your show to be spotlighted on our channel here, go ahead and email me at stantonfinefurniture@gmail.com. Tell me what it is you're doing, what your plans and goals are, your sites, and then I just ask for you to be patient because we have several others that are ahead of you guys, and we're taking you one by one each week. So anyhow, check out Andy's channel, The Hand Toolery. Okay, also last week I threw out the question of the week there. I had asked you guys about changing the title of the show to Our Weekly Update to What Are You Doing? Everyone seemed to be in favor, most everyone seemed to be in favor of the new title. So that's what we're going with. We're now calling it What Are You Doing? And we also had some questions from you guys back to us. So James Rash, he asked, how did I get into furniture making? If you watched in my last video, The Best Way to Learn Woodworking, I kind of told a little story about how I got into this. But essentially what I was a finished carpenter, and I had customers ask if I could do some custom built-ins, and did that, and it just kind of spawned from there. Donald Dean asked for Safety Dan, asked if Dan was ever in Nam. Dan?
No, I was never in Nam. I wasn't old enough. But if you ask my granddaughter, she thinks I was. I told her I was a barbed wire specialist on the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Okay, well, hopefully she doesn't watch the show, so we don't spoil that for her.
That's all right, because she doesn't believe anything I tell her anymore anyway.
Neither do we. Let's see, David Womack, he asked, what do I do with the old saw blades? That's a really good question. In fact, I should almost do a video on this. My old bandsaw blades, I'll save them, and I'll actually use them for bow saws. And like an old circular saw blade, I'll use that and make scrapers for it, because lots of times on historical homes, I have to replicate the old moldings in there, and I can do that with hand planes, and then I make a scraper card out of the old saw blades to make sure it's all nice and smooth. Let's see, Richard Hubert asked what my favorite build was and what my least favorite build was. My favorite build, I don't think I've done it yet. I always like a new challenge, so I enjoy what I do, but I think my favorite build is still yet to come. My least favorite build is cabinet doors. I hate making cabinet doors. They're boring and not very exciting, but they do pay well, so I don't turn them away. But it's probably my least favorite thing to do. He also asked the same questions to you, Dan.
Okay.
He wanted to know what your favorite beer was and what your least favorite beer was.
My favorite beer is Corona.
Okay.
With a shot of Patron. My least favorite is probably Old Milwaukee's.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. But
warm Old Milwaukee.
Warm Old.
Yeah. Straight out of the cupboard, man.
So those are some of the questions that were asked for us. We actually had more. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of them. I do read and reply to every one of your comments, so keep them up. And someone actually suggested that maybe sometime, Dan, we should do like a live video where people could actually type in what their questions would be, and we could answer them live on the spot.
Yeah,
so,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, so something we'll look into. My question for you guys this week is videos, build videos for projects. Do you guys like to see them fast, or do you like to see them slow? It's a question I had. I actually, the reason I'm asking is because like a while ago I posted a picture of the pinball machine and a coffee table, and I put the picture on Facebook, and it had like 40,000 likes on the picture. And then when I did the video, I did a real in-depth video of how to, and there wasn't a whole lot of views on it. So I just wondered if maybe people wanted to see the fast process of it, or would you rather see all the in-depth? So just something to help me fine-tune my videos, if you guys could give me your feedback on that. Let's see what's next on the pages here. Okay, so that's what you guys have been up to. Here's what we've been up to. This past weekend, I was up in Lenawee County for an HBA show where I was doing the demonstration on the history and the future of dovetails. You probably saw some of that video last week, but I was demonstrating that up there. And as you can tell from my voice, I caught a cold, so I'm a little bit under the weather. It's one of the reasons this video is kind of coming out late today. I got home later last night, had to unload the van and everything, and so we're filming a little bit later. We also picked up a job. It's actually a really good customer of mine. He's got several buildings, and they need some walls framed. So Dan and I are throwing the tool belt back on, and we're out on the job site this week doing some framing, which means everything else here in the shop has gone on hold. So my coffee table project is on hold. The dining room chairs are on hold. Hopefully I'll get back to that. I had a customer that's brought me another pinball machine for a coffee table, and he's got some kind of show coming up in a couple of weeks. So again, all this other project's going to have to go on hold so I can get his done in time for the show. But I did manage to get some progress done on the wine station here. I did get it stained and the top coat on it. As you remember, I probably said the other week that I was using the General Finishes Java stain, and I didn't like the results I was getting. I had two problems with that. One, the gel stain wasn't penetrating as deep into the wood as I would have liked, and it wasn't as dark as I wanted. So what I wound up doing was I put a Minwax penetrating stain on it, which was the Jacobine stain, and that soaked in kind of deep. I sprayed it with the sanding sealer, and then I put the Java stain on top, and I like the look. It's got the color I wanted now. And then I spray coated it with 3 coats of pre-catalyzed lacquer, which is some really strong, heavy-duty stuff. I'm looking for a new finish to use. But at any rate, I'm almost done with it. I still got to put a back on it, on this side. This side, people are asking me what's going on this side. That has a little fridge. It's a fridge from New Air that's going to go in there. And so I'm not putting a back to it. That way it gets a little bit of airflow around it. And then for the drawer, I got to put a finish in here, just a clear coat. I got to put a back on that as well. And I still got to get my LED lights that I want to put around here. So it's almost done. And there will be a video on this. So again, your comments, whether it should be a fast or slow build video, will determine on what you guys will see for this. So that's there. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh, the upcoming video for this Friday. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I know that our geometry video was doing really, really well, and people wanted to see more of that. So I'm possibly going to do a geometry video. Or, you know, I have over here, I built this and filmed it a while ago, this little step stool. It's all done with hand tools, and so I have, you know, the tenons that come all the way through the seat, and it's kind of a neat little project just with hand tools. I'll be releasing that at some point, so I don't know. Let me know what you want to see. Would you rather see more geometry or the hand built of this stool right here? So so that's about it for this week. That's what we've been up to. Oh, Dan, could you hand me that sign there? All right, thank you. So, you know, our goal was to get to 50,000 subscribers by May 1st. I got to say that just over the weekend we passed 40,000, so thank you very much. Because of you guys watching, we gained over 1,300 new subscribers in the past week. Getting to 50,000 by May 1st, I don't know if that's possible. I think I might be shooting kind of high there. But you notice May 1st, I didn't say what year. So I guess I kind of left that open. 2020? Anyhow, at any rate, please like, subscribe, leave your comments below, and we'll see you next week for another episode of What Are You Doing? And check out this Friday for a new episode of Wood Shopping Time. Until then, keep on dancing.